Today, I'm going to be putting what I believe to be the ultimate micro backpacking wood stove to the test. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Yep, you heard right. This looks pretty familiar if you follow my channel. It's called the Bear Bowl. About 2 years ago, I had the pleasure of introducing this to YouTube and the world. It was very, very exciting to be able to be one of the first to test this bad boy in the outdoors. But now they have teamed up with another company called Grimm. If you guys are familiar with Grimm are kind of the mad scientist of the tool card and flat metal laser cutting world. They're pretty fantastic. But what I have in my hand right here at almost no thickness, something very, very, very small you can put in your pocket, I dare say is the epitome of micro and nano sized. I have cooking utensils, a stove, a griddle, a lid, and a pot. Now before we dive right into this, for those who love to do ultralight backpacking, bushcraft, and woods hiking, and kind of go out in the woods, go fishing, go cook your food in the woods, not bring a whole lot, you bring a small little haversack, but you want a really ultra compact solution, there's a ton of them out there. They have titanium grills. We've got these really awesome backpacking stoves. This is actually one of my favorites from a company called Ultralight. It's super, super, super thin, but for most people, it's really expensive. And then there's the more traditionalists who like the military surplus design. So they have the little canteen stove. Fits right on top, put your cup, put a little fire inside, and you're pretty much good to go. Now, those do a pretty dang good job in my opinion. I think they're awesome. They cure the ultralight bug. They are really nice and flat, very packable. They don't put a whole lot of weight in your haversack or your pack for the day when you're going to hiking and fishing and trapping and whatever you feel like doing. But what I'm excited about is it's not just a stove and a pot in here. There is a ton more. So let me go ahead and break it down. Now, for me, I love any excuse to start a fire, so you're going to be seeing a lot of overlay footage because the only thing I like more than fire is food. So this is the Bear Bowl. This bad boy is pretty legit, but this is all the new offerings that you can see I've put to some good use that we've got going on. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is probably what a lot of people will see as the grand prize winner for a new innovation for the Bear Bowl. However, you can use this. This is a stove, by the way. Well, it's more like a grill. This is pretty awesome. We're going to show you how we take it apart and put it together. It is pretty fantastic. But it's the very first time that a company has tried to take basically the thickness of just one of these panels from a stove and cut it out in such a Willy Wonka type fashion that we're able to get a full grill out of it, which is pretty awesome. Now, with that said, this is not going to be the most ferociously sturdy stove out there, but it definitely gets the job done, especially when you're looking for ultra light, ultra portable, micro, pocket sized, all those cool little power statements and catchphrases. This thing will do the job very well. I like the fact that in here you get a ton of stuff. We get spatulas, eating utensils, forks, tongs, bottle openers, can openers. The whole thing is built into the system, which is pretty rad. However, my personal opinion on this, I think the champ, if we're going to go say innovations for the Bear Bowl, is this. It's really simple, but it is a lid for the Bear Bowl. You put it right on top. However, if you decide you're cooking yourself some tea or some coffee, you can use this as a griddle, which is super fantastic. You can cook hamburgers on here, steaks, cook some potatoes, pretty much anything you want to. So if you're not using the Bear Bowl, you can just use just this setup and go freakishly ultralight and literally give yourself almost every single thing you need for the outdoors for cooking with I mean, no space. Look at that. That's like 1 or 2 millimeters. That takes up no space at all. That's pretty fantastic. So the idea definitely caught our attention. We definitely wanted to give this thing a full-on field test, so that's exactly what we did. And do what every great American would do, is cook hamburgers and hot dogs on it, because, well, they have these cool little tongs right here that are built in. They give you a ton of them. You can use them as a stable support for your griddle or your grill for your platform. So let's say you're using the pot up top as intended, pop that down. The cool thing is you can use this for things like mashed potatoes, corn on the cob, hot dogs, anything you can think of to kind of skewer through and let the fire just passively rotate over and just kind of heat it. As we were cooking through, some things I do want to let you know is, like I said, it's not as stable as I would like it to be. And I think that's just because it's so light. It's not that it's whimsical or it's gimmicky in any way, shape, or form. I don't want you to feel that way. These grooves right here, I don't know if I would want them a little deeper, or maybe where there's some way for some of the stuff to completely intersect and interlock, just like a very simple, easy solution that you would find for the Emberlit stove. I don't want them to necessarily copy their innovation and design, but this is a very simple locking mechanism, and the way that it rotates itself upwards and downwards, when it's all said and done, these things lock into place and they don't come undone. They become a lot more stable, and those very flimsy pieces become a very stable, solid platform. Now, in the vein of innovation and trying to go as ultralight as humanly possible, I think they nailed it. I think they crushed this and hit a home run. When it comes to the spatulas and the eating utensils, I think this is a fork with the peeler, bottle openers, can openers. I also think those are extremely useful. The spatula / tongs for the baby bear, I think, is a little small in my opinion, but it is still pretty dang legit. I would love to see this particular setup for the mama bear, which is over here, and the papa bear. I think I would really enjoy seeing a spatula set, and if I can slide this in, see what I'm saying? Seeing a spatula set that is a good 30 to 40% longer and bigger and wider to handle some of the bigger stuff for the utensils portion of the particular build for the entire cook set. When I first got to test the Bear Bowl over 2 years ago, I was super amped. But when it came to boiling water, I was like, you know what? When I'm doing that and I'm working over coals, how do I try to trap in some of the heat and make sure that I can boil my water faster? That's what this lid all encompasses. So you can use it just like this and you're good to go. I mean, it's a little flimsy because of the way it locks in, but it does not come out unless you want it to. But furthermore, what I decided to do is, once I was done cooking my coffee for my wife, I decided to actually take this and put this directly on the grill to cook my hamburgers alongside the hot dogs that were attached by the sprongs that were kind of connected to it. And it created a really nice even heat. I don't know what type of metal they're using, but it's extremely thin metal. It's just enough to keep the flames on it, to keep it from overheating and getting all types of psychotic and crazy. And I liked it. Now, if you wanted to like mass cook a whole bunch of food, yes, get a full-size grill. But it kind of proved the point that I could cook a couple hot dogs and some hamburgers for my family in about 15 minutes on something so dang small. It worked really well. I was super impressed by everything this thing had to offer. I think I pushed it to its limits, because this is, I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's pretty much made for a single individual. And the fact that I was able to nail down a few pieces of food for several people very quickly was pretty nice. So now that we have everything put away, like I said, got the stove, cooking utensils, griddle, lid, and the Bear Bowl pot right here. Super pocket friendly, pretty epic. But let's say I want a complete cooking system to be able to do all the things that I would fathom to do, whether I was messing with a fish, a rabbit, or I was just cooking something that I brought from home, like some steak, potatoes, corn on the cob, some hamburgers and hot dogs. Doesn't really matter what you're into, but check this out. So we're going to go ahead and take everything away so we minimize distractions for you guys. Got my woods knife right here, cold steel Finhawk. Got my cooking system. Then we need a fire starter, waterproof. Now, if you've got access to things like birch bark and all that good stuff, just bring that. But this is what I'm saying. These are the Spartan Fire Tinder strips. I can put that inside here, and these are waterproof, so you're good to go. So, whoop, these are underneath. So imagine that. They're underneath there. Then you just bring a lighter or a really small fire steel if you'd like. I'll say for simplicity, we'll bring a lighter. And then, just to make sure you have some form of semblance of like a fork or something to stab really hardcore into something if you really need to. For me, I like full-size tools. That's, like I said, that's why I want the Papa Bear size. But, bam, if you want a full-on set that would do absolutely everything you would need to do for a single person, for small woods ultralight backpack stove cooking, you're good to go. This would be inside here. This would be in your pocket. So realistically, what you'd be seeing are these three pieces right there. That's awesome! You have your knife, which would already be on your hip. You just put that in your haversack and just pack this away, and you're good to go. As far as space saving, portability, lightweight, packability, oh man, I think this is a ferocious, absolute game changer. I had a blast testing this out. If you like this video and you're interested in us bringing some more game-changing innovations for the outdoor woods, for cooking, for fire starting, as we find them and are blessed to be able to check them out, definitely throw this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about is it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.